What up, though? It's your boy Willie Styles in the building. Welcome to tonight's show. Guys, want to say what up?
Hey, y'all.
Oh, we can't hear you, Dane.
Oh, he muted.
Hey, what up, though?
What up, though? All right, we got a great show lined up for you guys tonight. It is December 1st, first day of the month. Last month of the year, though. I mean, this year flew by. It's definitely definitely been a fast year, definitely been an eventful year. Lots going on. Hopefully everybody's had a good year, and we'll close it out on a high note. But we're gonna definitely do that with you guys tonight. Is get you started on your December, and hopefully get y'all ready for the next holiday. How did y'all spend y'all Thanksgiving?
I spent it with family. This is the first time I did not host. So for my family, usually I have it here. We did have it at my sister's house a couple times after my mom passed, but mostly it's been at my house. So this was like the first year, like the younger kids, like my niece and them are taking the reins. So my niece took Thanksgiving. It was really, really fun to like she surprised she surprised me with a lot of stuff that she did cook. I knew some of the stuff she was cooking. Everybody pitched in and brought dishes and participated and stuff. So it was fun. And my daughter is taking Christmas. So yeah, I'm excited to show up and bring a few dishes and then be at the show.
For sure.
Me, I stay with the family. My wife had to work from Thursday evening to Sunday evening. So tonight's her first night off since last week's Wednesday. She cooked the night before, so we ate then and watched the Lions blow a game. Per usual, Thanksgiving. Thanksgiving tradition at this point, Lions losing. And the heck was that? And nothing else. That's it.
Yeah, that's what's up. Yeah, I didn't watch any games, but I was over somebody's house and they were watching one of the games. It wasn't the Lions game. I think it was the Rams on Thursday. Rams and the
Nope. Rams didn't play Thursday. Dallas played. Texans played. Philly played. Yeah, Philly lost. Yeah, Philly lost.
Philly played Friday.
Yeah, Philly played against Chicago Friday. Yeah, they lost. Philly lost that one. Sorry, Smooth.
Well, yeah, whatever game they were watching it, and I just kind of peeked in, and it looks like they were just chilling, watching the game or whatever. I'm not a big sports person, so I didn't really care about the game that was going on. I was trying to see about a little friendly wager, but that was about it. Other than that,
but you know what? I remember you're not big into sports like I am. But the time we went over to your house for the Super Bowl, even though you're not a sports fan, I used
to always do big Super Bowl.
But this particular one, we was just dying. It's the year of the blackout when the Denver Broncos played against the Seattle Seahawks, and they killed them. And I think it was like the power had went out. We were just reading the internet jokes, we were just commenting on like Beyonce, turned off the lights or whatever. The Illuminati said it wasn't us. I remember that Super Bowl because that was the most fun I had without being with other people who are fans. It was just like the moment, just being with your peoples. So that was cool.
Oh yeah, for sure. All right, well, let's go ahead and get started on the show. Tonight, we're going to be talking about coping with depression and grief during the holidays. It's definitely that time of the year when a lot of folks, go through it. They really go through it, be it just seasonal onset depression or seasonal associated depression. That's what it's called, where it's sad. But also, some people, go through a lot of loss during the holidays, or they reminisce about, loved ones during the holidays, times gone by, things that have or traditions that have slipped on because those people are gone now, things like that. So it makes, celebrating the holidays more challenging for a lot of folks. So, we want to talk about that tonight, talk about, ways that you can hopefully, cope and work through those feelings and hopefully, have a great holiday without, too much impact on your festivities. So, let's just start with the basics here. People going through depression and grief. Sonny, I know you were just talking about, how you guys had to shift your tradition.
Yeah.
Tell us about that. Tell us about, any things that you went through early on, during that initial impact that had on your life.
Yes. So 2015. My mom passed the day before Thanksgiving, and it was sudden. It wasn't like something that she was sick and we knew was going to happen. It was just completely sudden. And I'm talking about to the point where me and my mom always did Thanksgiving dinner together. So that's why I be cooking. My mom taught me how to cook. I learned how to cook. So after a couple years, my mom, when I got my first apartment, she showed me how to do a Thanksgiving dinner, and she also showed me Christmas too. So like it's been me and her like doing Christmas. My sisters participated too, but like the bulk of the food was me and my mother. So that particular Christmas, it was odd, not Christmas, Thanksgiving. I'm saying Christmas because it's all like the same to me. But for Thanksgiving, that Thanksgiving, I had just brought her a bunch of stuff. Like she needed a couple things. I went to the store, brought it to her. And I remember my sister Nye bringing her something. My mom fussing about Nye didn't bring her the butter. And that same day she was gone. Like, but it was weird because when we went to her house the next day, like on Thanksgiving, because I had already started cooking my food. So my mom would cook whatever I didn't cook, my mom would make. So if she made the turkey, I made the ham. She made whatever, I made this. So it was kind of that thing to kind of bring it all together. And this was the first Thanksgiving we were going to host it at my house because normally we go to her house. So this was the first year we were going to do it at my house. And since I had my first apartment, I was in the house at this point, not this house, but the house prior. And we went to her house. Her house was immaculately clean. She had already bought the Christmas gifts. She wrote down, it was so odd because, you go in the house and then you see like all this stuff, like it's prepared. She had the food done. So because she passed, we was like, nobody really felt great about doing Thanksgiving, but we decided to do it anyway. Plus we knew that people were going to try to come to like one central location to kind of, be around us. So we brought all the food to my house like we had originally planned. People came. That Thanksgiving was like a blur. It was food there, but like who all showed up? I remember some faces. It was a lot. And then like the next couple of years, I think we kind of struggled a little bit because we had Thanksgiving at my mom's house. Even though if we were having it that year at my house, we usually have it at our mom's house. And my mom was like the head of everything. Like this is what we're going to do. And we just do whatever my mom told us to do. So it was simple like that. So for like a couple of years we struggled. And then eventually we kind of got like got back in the rhythm of it and started doing our Thanksgiving like how we normally do. Everybody pitching in, stuff like that. I think one year I cooked everything and just was like, come eat. Like we just going to do it. Like, cause I know, when you're struggling and going through like financial stuff, it's like that when you really can't, like we just all put it together and just did it. So this year when the kids said they wanted to do it, we was like, okay. And my niece did a very, very excellent job. And for me, Thanksgiving is always a struggle for me because it feel weird when I don't cook. I remember one year I was like, I'm not cooking. I just wasn't feeling it. Last year I wasn't feeling it. And I ended up making collard greens at the very last minute. And only because my son requested it. And I didn't think he was going to eat it because last time he had it, my mom was alive. And, my son's autistic, super picky eater. I made those greens and he tore them greens up. And he kept wanting them. Like he was eating the food. And it was crazy because I really didn't want to cook. And something was like, no, you got to cook. And I laughed and I said, that's my mom telling me, no, you got to cook. Zay wants to eat. Because he used to be trying all the food since he was little. Right. But it's Thanksgiving is like a bit of a struggle because it's like I want to be around family, but sometimes I just don't want to be. It's a reminder of me cooking and my mom not being there. I'm pretty sure my sisters is the same way. Like, cause even if they didn't cook, it was just being around our mom. So it was like our mom's not there. This was our go-to house. If we had nowhere else to go, we was going to my mom's house. And now when that's not an option, it's weird. So you kind of get like either you're going to celebrate it or we're not going to celebrate it. And if we do it, it's like half-ass, or if it's just like barely just to do it. So it's been a struggle for the last couple of years. This year was a good year. I think last year was a good year too of us. But like it depends on the year because it's four of us, well 5 of us technically. And mom had 4 girls and 1 boy, so everybody's in whatever space they're in. Like I may be fine and can like I got through it. My one sister could be just bawling her eyes out all day, but she don't want everybody else to be crying, so she won't really cry around us. It's kind of weird to have the conversation of what we're going to do because do we want to celebrate her passing or do we just not, like, you know what I'm saying? So it's like that weird space. And then my mom was like a big Christmas person, so like right after that is Christmas. So you be kind of going through these. I think for us, November and probably May is probably the hardest because Mother's Day, our mom is not here. It's weird. I know it's hard for my sister Jazz because her birthday is in November. So, but we went out for her birthday this year, like made her go outside and have fun because it's hard. And then for my birthday, it's like I got to do something because I'm used to my mom's birthday. Our birthday in the same month is Mother's Day, my birthday, my mama's birthday. Mm-hmm. So those are like our big struggle times, and it's like you people don't realize like where people be at, and this is why I wanted to talk about that because everybody's dealing with it differently. Like you could have lost your mom yesterday, 2 days from now, 6 months from years ago. My mom was 2015. It still is a sore topic or a hurtful thing to kind of relive. Even though I talk about it, it's hurtful because it's like she's not here. So I think that even if you're not necessarily talking about it yearly or every it's like you still dealing with it. So I feel like when you lose a parent, even though you know they supposed to go before you, it's just like it's still hard no matter when you lost them. It don't matter if it's 20 years ago. It's just like if you would remember, or sometimes if you're not even able to remember, that's your relative, they're not here. So all those what if thoughts and all those things can transpire, and that can put you in a depressive state because you could be happy, but you don't know how to celebrate this holiday because you're not here. I know a couple of my friends that just lost relatives recently, like mom, dad, stuff like that, and I feel like it's sadder to lose them around the holidays, especially if they're like a big holiday person. It's like harder, if that makes sense.
Right. No, I feel you.
Yeah.
Dame, have you ever gone through any of that?
Yeah. I was never really good at school because I was just not lazy, not motivated. It's like some stuff I did understand. You have your favorite subjects growing up, and around this time, I think report cards would come out. My mom was really hard on me because I was struggling with some things. Because as you know, as we're doing the show, Sonny knows I'm special. That I have my moments where I think I'm on a spectrum in the show. Sometimes, other times, I could be the smartest person in the world, or I could be very slow. And during school, it's just like some things I just couldn't grasp right away, but other things I did. My mom was very hard on me. I think it had to do with my father too, because she had to raise me by herself. So around this time of year, it was, she was just on my head, and being out of school and on punishment was the worst. And she was home on those breaks. I couldn't get away with with a lot of stuff. So for a lot of years, I just stayed on punishment. It was very depressing because I lost my dad back in '87. I was 9. I remember the exact date, May 13th, 1987. I remember waking up, seeing him on the ground in our bathroom, passed out. I got home from school the same day, and they told me that he passed. So around the holidays, it's kind of tough for my mom, and I think she took it out on me a little bit, a lot of things. So around this time, I used to get depressed, but sometimes I just don't think about it. like today. But like what Sonny said, it's been 10 years since she lost her mom. I think about 3 years ago, I was at work and I just bust out crying at work. I had to, take myself to the back. I'm like, my
Yeah, it's
dad
like
died
random moments.
just out of Sonny, my
Yeah.
dad died in 1987.
Yeah, but
I'm not
that's why I said
yeah,
that it doesn't. But that's why I said it doesn't.
yeah,
Like I think people, if you don't understand or have went through it, you don't understand that it doesn't matter when.
right,
When is not of consequence.
right.
You were able to be around your dad and get to know this person, and then they were gone. So it didn't matter
That was like
when.
my best friend growing up, and I was only 9 when he passed. So I didn't really get a chance to know him. I just remember some of the things that I went through with him, some of the love that he gave me. But at the same time, it's like I wonder what he would think about how I'm living my life now. Wonder what kind of advice, what kind of life I would have if he was around.
Yeah.
But I try to make it into a positive. I think now he would be proud because I have a family of my own now. I'm on my own. I'm not in the streets. I'm not. Well, I don't have any records besides some speeding tickets. And I try to take the way, like, even though he's not here, I can't think about too much of what if, because what I have out here in my home in these different rooms, they probably wouldn't be here if he was still here. And I'm kind of happy that what I have, I'm very satisfied with what I have now. So I try to take comfort in that I'm happy with what I got. Now, if I was miserable, I'll be like, man, I wonder if my dad was here. But I just have to remember the love that he gave me and try to pass that on, that feeling, those emotions onto my kids now. I remember how my dad treated me before he left. So I'm very grateful for at least remembering that.
Yeah. It's like I said, I feel like experiencing me losing my mom 10 years ago, it doesn't supersede you losing your dad back all those years ago. It's still a loss. You still relationship that was built, that was cut short. So the shoulda, coulda, wouldas, the thoughts of what he wanted, what he would have wanted for you, where you would be at in life if he was still here, all those things. Like I think about that with my mom. Like what would I be doing? How my life would be different if my mother was here? Would I have went through some stuff I went through after she left? Like so all those things. And like it's just hard, and I don't think people like realize like what that is, like how that feels, and unless you've been through it. Really?
Yeah, I mean, for me, it's one of those things where, you know, I guess we didn't do a lot of holiday things, but we did, our own little like. My biggest loss was probably my dad, right? And that was right around the time I was about 21, 22, something like that. I was really young, but not as young as Dane, but I was a lot younger than now. So it was some years ago. But long story short, we had other traditions, other things that we did on a regular basis that when I do similar things, it definitely comes into mind. It definitely comes up as something that that I'll reminisce about, or I'll say, oh, what, my dad used to do this with us, or my dad used to always plan, like road trips was a big one. My dad was a trucker. He drove cross country and all that kind of stuff. He also did a lot of local trucking. So whenever we did road trips, he would always go and get, the AAA map, and, he also had his own almanac and everything where he would map out how we would, take the trip and everything. And even though I don't use a physical map or anything, I always think about that anyway, regardless. I always think about him pulling out that big map.
Yeah,
marking it up with his highlighter and everything and drawing out how he's going to do the trip and everything. And anytime I take a road trip and make different stops, I always remember like him making different stops and showing us different sites and telling us about things that he saw on the road, or him just being one of those kind of people that enjoyed certain types of little things on the road that you'd be like, oh yeah, this particular landmark or this particular thing that you might see, that kind of stuff, or the games he would have us play. So it was always things like that, I think back on, or even just doing some work around the house. Dame can attest is that my dad was a big DIYer, really huge into doing things around the house. And so I always remember the little tips he gave me. So, those are the things that definitely come back to mind for me. So I think everybody, has that where they feel like they have some type of connection either to an activity, an event, or like we said, the holidays themselves that will definitely be impactful, bring back memories, and maybe even bring on a little sadness because you're like, you want that person to be there, or you want things to be the way they were at that time, because it was, just what you got used to,
Yeah. I feel like it's funny too, because I remember when my mom passed, I think when I went back to work, it's something so dumb and random that just comes to mind. And it made me think about when you said about the map thing. My mom was a really good cook, but oatmeal was not her strong suit. She used to fuck up some oatmeal, like lumps in it, uncooked oats in the middle. Like I love oatmeal. Like I can't stress to you how much I love oatmeal. But my mom used to make it, and like it. She's like me with oatmeal high and with rice. It depends on the day if I'm gonna get it right. I can cook, but me and rice fight all the time. My mom and oatmeal fought all the time. I was like, Mom, you got to keep stirring it to make it not lumpy, right? And I remember I went to work and I got some oatmeal that day, and that's back when I was on. Like I used to eat oatmeal every day, so I used to get the brown sugar, the raisins, and make my little oatmeal. They used to give the oatmeal work and doctor it up and walk out. And then one day I got it. Something so dumb. I got a spoonful, went to eat it, big piece of ball of uncooked. I couldn't do nothing but laugh. Like, cause it was just like, hey, yo, Mom, really? Because like that was something so that I wouldn't even think about, but it made me laugh because I'm just like, hey, yo, I've had oatmeal from this place so many times and never had this issue. Now I got this big lump of uncooked oatmeal, and I just had to laugh because it just was. I said, "That's my mom. She knew I needed that laugh or whatever it was," and I was just like, "This lumpy ass oatmeal." And of course, I just scooped it out like I normally do. Chucked it, checked to see if I found any more lumps, cooped them out, and then went and continued to eat my oatmeal. But I was like chuckling while like I kept giggling to myself because I thought it was hilarious. Like out of all the times, like it was probably like after, and that happened, and I just was like. Yo, that's crazy. So it'd be stuff like that. It'd be good things. It'd be good things too, not just holidays and stuff. So I don't know.
That's funny.
Right? It's just random. It was random as hell. It's just like, oh, so this big ass piece of uncooked. Okay.
But you know what? It's ways of getting around that depression, seasonal depression. You just have to find your way to getting back to normal. What's supposed to your new normal, I should say.
Yeah.
Like for you
got to make yourself go out and do something. Like you can't, like, especially like for me, I'm a big in my head person, so I can't stay in one place stagnant and sit there and think because then it's going to be way worse. Like then I'm gonna just be crying, going through the motions, which I don't mind crying. It's not a bad thing to cry. But for me, I'll stay in it longer than I should, right? And then I have to like forcibly make myself a functioning person. Still battling depression, but like at the same time, I feel like for me, I have to get out. Like Mother's Day this year, I wasn't going anywhere. Told you Mother's Day is another hard one for me. Because like I said, Mother's Day, my birthday, my mom's. And my best friend and one of our other friends invited me out to her Mother's Day brunch at her house. I did not want to go. But I forced myself to get up and make my son get dressed and go. Because she was like, kids. I was like, oh, I can't go. I got my son. They was like, no, it's for mothers and the kids. Come on. And I was like, oh. I'm like, well, my son is scared of dogs. They're like, we'll put the dogs up. So like, it was, every time I tried to make an excuse, I was like, all right, I'm coming. Like, it got my daughter. My daughter's like, I'll drop you off and everything. And I really went outside and I had a good time. But like I had to make myself go out and enjoy, you know?
Right. Mhm.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean,
Yeah.
and
No.
that's what I like. Oh, go ahead, Dame. I'm sorry.
No. Go ahead. Go ahead. This is fine.
No, I was about to say, you know, and I had looked up some different tips and ways to kind of get through the season and deal with some of the things that, you know, people might be going through. And that's and what Sunny was just talking about is that it's kind of in line with what they were saying in this article I was reading, basically saying that, you know, a lot of times you have to find new ways of doing things, find ways to incorporate your tradition so that you know, still maintain that connection without, you know, feeling like you're losing it, but also, you know, remembering that the obligation isn't there, that you have to do everything or that you have to, you know, mimic exactly, you know, how things were. Um, you know, I think that that's one of the ones that I hear so much is that people will try their best to be like, oh, we got to do it just like how mom did, or we got to do it just like how grandma did, or we
Yeah.
have to, you know, bring these things back. And it's, you know, sometimes it may be a little bit more challenging for people to do things like that, especially how the world has become nowadays, where so many people are more spread out and don't come together as much, and
Yeah.
you know, trying to corral family members together like your grandma did, it's just not the same. Like
Yeah.
back in, you know, like that.
That's what I tell my daughter too, because my mom taught her how to make devil eggs, something very, you know, not that hard to do. My daughter
Some people.
my daughter has anxiety about it because she wants it perfect. Like the eggs to be peeled perfectly and not be all, you know, when you peel eggs, sometimes it just be doing what it don't want to do. And this year we just told her, like, I know you get anxiety about it, but like take your time, it's just us.
Mhm.
Like it's just us. And she took her time and she did it, and to her satisfaction. But even that's something her grandma taught her. Whether or not that's her issues, like she want to do it how her grandma, you know, her grandma taught her how to do it. But it's just one of them things my mom taught her. So I know that my mom taught her, and everybody knows that our mom taught her how to make it. That's not something I even learned. Not that it's hard, but you know, pretty sure I can write a recipe. But that's something that she had with her grandma, right? And that's what she brings. Makes some of her food. She makes other food too, but like she made that this year, and she was like going through it. And then she also made a cheesecake for the first time. I used to make cheesecakes with her when she was younger, and she wanted to bring that back. And she was asking me, I said, "Girls, I ain't make that since she was like 3, 4. Like I ain't even known that cake no more. Because once we went from cheesecakes, we made regular cakes and we made cupcakes like that, whatever. But like even that, I just told her to take her time and do what she got to do. The time you know you got to do to make certain things, you know, you make sure you maintain and take your time, and don't overstress yourself. Don't get anxiety about it. Because at the end of the day, it's just us. It's not even that serious. As long as it's tasty, we don't care how it looks. We gonna eat it. Like so, you know. And everybody liked it, and everybody was looking for them deviled eggs. They was like happy that she brought them, and they were super excited about them. They was tearing them up, and it's like you stress. I'm gonna stress stuff out and we was gonna like it anyway, you know. So that's to your point, Willie. You can't really get hung up on how they used to do it. You got to do it how you do it. You got to make it your own. We'll keep it in there. If they start that tradition, you keep it and make it your own. You don't have to do it exactly the way they do it.
Right. No, because you can keep the tradition alive by keep doing it, but not like how they did it, because that's their flavor. You and your family, your current family and loved ones, got your own flavor. Put your own spin on it. Keep the tradition alive by keep doing it, but then at the same time, you be you. Let whatever they had, that be your memory of them, and y'all just keep doing what y'all got to do. Like, I don't know if some people know this, but I lost my uncle in September, October time. My father has one brother left living, and we went down there. I haven't seen my cousin in 34 years, since my grandparents passed. First time seeing them in 34 years. Do you know how much big of a relief it was to see them? I thought I had anxiety driving down there to see them, and like, because I'm nervous. They haven't seen me since I was 12, 13, 14, whatever how old I was. And Now here I am, grown man. They got kids. I got second cousins. I finally met, in person because how social media came about. Like, oh, this your cousin. Oh, this your second cousin. Oh, who kid is that? Oh, that's my oldest kid. Like, what the, you know. So I finally got a chance to meet the extended family that I never, and reintroduce myself as an adult to my other kids. And it was such a big relief to see them. It felt like I was back at home. I haven't seen them in
Mhm.
34 years. It felt really familiar. And it wasn't none of that. What took us so long to see each other, just love instantly. And I felt at home. It was great. So um, we had to start a new tradition of hating each other on Saturdays. Michigan versus Ohio. But
Yeah, right, right. Uh, uh, but yeah, one other thing that just stood out to me, which I think we always talk about and a lot of people talk about nowadays is self-care. One of the other tips that they provided was to prioritize your self-care and seek support. um, Taking care of your physical, mental, and spiritual health are big things, especially during a time when you may feel a lot of, either, pressure, or it may not be grief, it may not be depression, it may just be the pressure of the season, to, like what you're saying, get things like they used to be, or it may be just thinking about a lot and feeling overwhelmed, that kind of thing. So seek out support, from your family members, from friends, like you said, Dane. Sometimes we got to go to our friends for support. Sometimes we have to, create these new memories with new people, to kind of get our minds off of the old memories so much, so that we know, you don't have to forget the old memories. What I'm saying is, just feel a more refreshment of memories, things that'll, help you uh, connect happiness more with this time.
and sometimes it's just melancholy too.
Mhm. Yeah.
You just missing you're not depressed. Sometimes you're just missing the moments, or just having memories of what you just went through with your the person that's not there with you. It's not always. I'm not gonna say not always depression, but it's just the time of year. Like, you got a lot of things on you. You see how the world is acting. You know, you do miss interacting with certain people in your life.
Hmm. Oh yeah, for sure, for sure. I mean, I know, like I said, that was the thing for me, was that interaction, that those, trips and those things that we would do together, just make me think about my dad and think about, all the, and actually I was, just recently talking to um, um, one of my cousins about, some of our, family members that recently passed away, or that had passed away just a few years ago, and just remembering, some of the activities that we would do as a family. And it's one of those things, like you said, you can sometimes get, it becomes a little heavy feeling, but it's also one of those things where it helps you, reconnect with other family members and other friends, when you can, reminisce on those times together, and just think about those happy times, and let that be the connection to the time, or the connection to the activity.
Right, right. Because me and my second cousins that I finally got a chance to hang out with, um, it was quite interesting because we're on a big farm, and my daughters are learning how to drive an ATV. It's kind of good. We're creating our new memories with my new well, my extended family,
Mhm.
cousins and whatever. And my daughter almost hit me, but that's besides the point. Yeah,
Yeah.
and I'm up here 47 years
All
old, and
memories,
I haven't seen
all memories created.
right. All memories are created equal. Hey, remember the time
Mhm.
you ran over dad with the ATV? So, it's just I had a good time. Just I got to re in contact with my cousin. I forgot how much younger he was. I mean, he's not that much younger, but Now he's much taller. I'm like, God dang, how come I couldn't get your height? We got the same fit. We got the same genes. Jeez, you know. But other than that, it was great.
Yeah, for sure.
You
For
just gotta
sure.
find. You just gotta find. You just gotta find. You gotta find happiness in tragedy too. You know, take the good with the bad.
Oh, for sure. For sure. All right. All right. Any other tips that you guys have for folks out there that are having a hard time during the holidays?
Therapy.
Yeah.
That's one. Um, you gotta find your own therapeutic way of doing things. Like I found being busy, but being productively busy, not just busy, just running around doing random stuff, but maybe helping out a friend can make you forget about your problems for a moment. Like helping out somebody in need that's going through some terrible things in your life. I mean, their life. Um, like right now, I have a friend who's going through it. You know, his family is in turmoil. I'm just trying to be there for him because I didn't have nobody with me or for me in my corner. I felt like when I was going through my divorce years ago. So I'm trying to be there for him as he goes through his. Um, seeing how I have expertise or insight knowledge on what he's going through. I didn't have any kids like he does, but I do have. But I do remember being alone, and it seemed like that the people that was asking for help, like you say, you should always go to older people. Sometimes they are the worst because if they haven't been through it, or they're just callous, or just forgot. Um, like one time, this is I was my mom had a Super Bowl party, and this guy came over, and he was putting his shoes on his wife's feet,
Hmm.
and he said, see, Dame, this is what you got to do. You got to help your like I'm going through my divorce. No, currently at this
Right.
time, let's see, Dame, this is what you got to do. You got to get on your hands and knees and put your shoes on your wife's feet sometime. And my only thought is, right now, you're on your hands and knees, and I'm standing straight up, and my feet can just go straight to your face. And I wouldn't.
Incredible.
And I mean, he actually triggered me at this moment. I'm like really pissed.
Mm.
Like, so I just remember that type of instance like that um, can cause a trigger. But I remember just trying to help somebody out. You know, it makes you alleviate your pain or grief for momentarily. Maybe you can figure something out to try to keep yourself busy in a productive way to help somebody else in need.
Mm.
Maybe
Mm.
volunteer somewhere, go to a soup kitchen. I don't know.
Oh, yeah, that's a good
Homeless.
idea. Yeah.
Um, maybe go
That's a
out,
good one too.
see somebody in need. Like, hey, do you need this? Or like, people always need something. You don't always have to get monetarily. Sometimes just
Right.
give
There's always
time.
opportunities out there. Yeah, that's true.
Yes,
That's
it's
true.
plenty of opportunities to help people in need, especially now.
Mhm.
Especially now.
Indeed.
Maybe HR can get somebody a job.
Indeed. Uh, but yeah, so one of the things that I definitely recommend for people is definitely to create those new memories. That's I definitely got to piggyback on that one again. But also, um, do what you feel is right for you. There's a lot of tips out there. I just posted in the chat some links to an article that I was kind of referencing with different tips on how to tips and ways and methods to get through the holidays or any day. If you're having a hard time, or you're having grief, or you're having depression, make sure you seek counseling, seek therapy. But definitely also remember that what's right for one person may not be right for you. Just because you see somebody that's like going gung-ho into doing memorials and tributes and all this other stuff, it may not work for you. What may work for you is just to do a similar tradition. What might work for you may be to just hang out with friends. What may work, so there's different ways to kind of cope and deal with
Yeah.
it. So
I
definitely
feel like
do
trying to
it.
put. I feel like when you're trying to put stuff on, like that's a big thing too. Like, we don't do the gray side every year, right?
Right.
Some people go to the gray side. It's like that's what you're supposed to do. So people do. So you're supposed to go to the gray side every year and just be sitting there. And it's like that. I'm not a gray side person. I will go, right? If we're going as a family, I'll go because I know my daughter likes going to the gray side. Hold on. So he's calling me, but
I want to hear his 2 cents. What are you talking about?
no, he messed up his. He's been upset. Give me a minute. But yeah. But that's not my thing. That's my daughter's thing, right? Some of my family members like that too. I don't necessarily like it, but I do go if we're all going as a group, right? Because that would make sense. But like by myself, no. I'd rather just be in the kitchen cooking, listening. Go get your food. You can just go get it. You warmed it up already.
One way or another, I'm gonna get your attention.
He warmed up his own food. He keep leaving in there. He coming in here yelling at me. Go get your food.
Those yellow people, I'm telling
part
you.
of this podcast so bad. But yeah,
Like mother, like son.
You can't make somebody do what you want to do or you feel like you should do. Not everybody's gonna be with that.
Right.
Some people do extra too. I'm like, y'all doing too much. Sit yourself down. Like, we're going to do what now? We're going to blow up candles and fireworks. What the heck?
Well, I guess that's the question. Is like, how do you handle a situation where another family member feels like you should be involved in, let's say, like you said, like a tribute or involved in some kind of tradition that, like how would you handle letting them know that that's not for you or that's too much for you at this time? Like, how do you think you would handle that if somebody said, hey, I want you to be here because we're going to, do this balloon release for grandma and I need you to help me put the balloons together and blah, blah, blah. How would you handle that?
I can't. My kid. I'm busy. I got the kids. My wife is at work. At this point, that would be the old
excuses.
I got them ready. Oh, my wife got to work that night. Sorry. Do another. No, that was the old me. Now me is.
Excuse. No, I don't want to participate. I don't feel like this is something I want to do. You can go ahead and do it, but I won't be partaking in it. Like, can't nobody, like, as much as people have a problem, and that's another thing about funerals and stuff. They bring out the worst of people. What you want to do ain't necessarily what I want to do, right? How you feel like I should do this is not necessarily the way I want to do it. If that's what you want to do, a tribute to my loved one, cool. If I'm not in the space that I want to be there or mentally okay with dealing with that, I'm not going. I'm not giving you no excuse other than no.
I'm gonna give an old school example.
You're lucky if I explain why I said no, other than me saying no.
No, I'm right. At this point in my life, I'm like, I'm straight. That's my like. Oh, why don't you? Because I don't want to. Hey, y'all do you. More power to you. I don't. I'm at the point in my life where I don't give examples or explanations of like, nope, I'm good. I'm straight. In fact, my family hasn't done anything like that in years.
Yeah, I don't have time. I don't have time to be making up excuses. I'm not going.
We used to go to my dad's gravesite every year. The time he died, then my brothers decided to go crazy or something. I don't know. Something happened along the way where we stopped doing it. I think the last time I went, I saw my brother cry at the gravesite, and I think I was 16 at the time, and I think that was the last time I've been out there. I haven't been out there since I haven't been out there since I was a teenager.
Got you.
Don't know if I'm a bad person for that, visiting the gravesite.
And that's the thing is that there's some people who feel that way, right? They might feel like, oh, I'm horrible for not doing this part, or I'm letting this person down because I'm not participating in this activity and that kind of thing. And like you said, sometimes we do have to protect our own peace or separate ourselves from certain things that we don't think that we can handle or that we feel like it's not for us, and I think that it's okay to do that. It's okay to realize that what works for somebody else isn't going to work for you, and you need to do your own thing.
But here's the thinking behind that. If the person that we love is gone now, and their spirit or whatever you believe in, if they're a spirit creature, blah blah blah. Why do we have to go to the gravesite to go say hi to them or think about them in any type of way? I mean, it's kind of like oxymoron or just
And that's not
weird.
and that's not even an obligation. It's just it's
No.
something that people feel like it's traditional to do. So it's like it's a tradition to do. Because like I said, I can put Natty Cole on and think about my mom. I can cook a certain dish I know she like and think about my mom. Something can happen. Go ahead and get your food and leave me alone. Why you keep trying to talk while I'm talking? Sorry.
No, you make sense because Sonny, what if you so happen to get a job and you move out of state or out of the country? Are you really that obligated to fly back every year or every so often just to go visit a gravesite where the person is deceased?
Yeah, I like listening to the memories or talking about the memories, having a good laugh or a good cry, doing something.
We should call this a Zay show. Just wipe that off.
That's the part that's bothering me. But like he's been calling me to go get this food out the microwave that he just won't get himself. I got up and he ran upstairs. So this is what we've been having this battle about. Like just go get the food because by the time you get it, it's gonna be cold. You're gonna reheat it again. I don't know. Go back to third reheat. It's pissing my spirit. And then he's tired, so I gotta deal with it.
Change the show title. This is Sonny and Zay. I don't know what to say after that. Please don't.
So I was just looking at another article, and it talked about the 3 C's to cope with the holidays, and it kind of again piggybacks off of some of the things we just talked about. So the 3 C's to cope with the holidays is to choose, communicate, and compromise. So choose, during the holidays, it gets easy to go into activities that increase our feelings and our emotions and our pain and that kind of thing. So being able to make the choice of separating ourselves from those things that don't make us feel good or that make us feel like it's overwhelming. I think that's definitely a big one. Communicating with our loved ones, communicating with those that are in this with us, letting them know how you feel, what you want to get out of either activities or tributes or memories, or what you don't, as well as being able to communicate, like you said, the times when people are overwhelming you or you feel like there's something that you don't want to do or that you do want, to participate in, being able to communicate. So make sure you communicate with the folks around you, and then compromise. Remember, there's no right or wrong way to grieve. There's no right or wrong way to do things, with the exception of committing crimes, but or hurting yourself. But definitely find the right way for you in order to cope. So definitely compromise with yourself to say, hey, you know what, I can do this, I just can't do that.
I would say don't compromise on a lot of things too, because your happiness matters too. Your well-being, you can't compromise on everything because some people are just going to go push the envelope and push the boundaries of how far they can go to get your attention, to get your for this matter.
Stand on business for yourself and say like, this is not like I'll do this, but I'm not doing this. Right. I think that's a healthy balance of compromise because it's like you want to do this, and this, but okay, no, I'm going to do this right here, but I ain't about to do none of this other stuff. And that's the compromise within yourself because you know what you can actually handle to do. So like for me, I'm not going to, if I really feel like I want to be in the house and not be around people, I'm gonna be in the house and not be around people.
Right.
And it's not a slight, and I don't have time. This is another thing too. I don't have time to be worried about you because I'm feeling the way. If you know me, you know probably why I'm in the mood that I'm in, especially when it comes to certain holidays for me. I don't have time to make sure you're okay when I'm going through it. I'm not responsible for you. I can't care about how you feel if you feel left out and I'm not talking to you. I'm a very much a person of like recently, you know, my mom passed 25th. Somebody that dealing with daughter's birthday the same day. Did what you need to do for your daughter, but at the same time, it's not that I said anything. Like, you knew my mom passed, you know, whatever. And you just came to sit around me. You didn't ask any questions. You just sat around me and like was just around me. Your presence, because I don't ask for much. Just your presence is enough for me to say that, you know, I know you. I had this going on, but I still want to be here for you. And if it's not anything but just being around you, that's cool. Pleasant distraction, because I don't need much. I don't need like a big distraction to get my mind off of it to where I get into that depressive state. But sometimes it's just somebody being there and like, you know, just hanging out and taking your mind off of where you could be thinking. And like that for me is like, I could have been hanging with my girlfriends. I could have been hanging with my sisters. I could have been hanging with my grandbaby or something like that. Probably would have made me think about my mom too. Not to say that I didn't think about it, but I didn't get into that rut of now I'm here and it's 6 days later and I'm still here. I can't be that way, especially not with my child. I can't. Like, as much as I probably want to curl up in the ball and just sit there and cry for like days, I can't do that. So let me get this day of just absolute quiet and silence is what I did. I laid around and slept the whole day off and on. And then when I got up, I had cooked and I just sat around and watched TV and hung out. That was a very minimal thing that was needed. And I didn't have to explain why I was feeling this way, you knew. I didn't have to coddle somebody else's feelings. Like, I acknowledge you had something going on, so I'm gonna be over here. Not that you have to come here, because I didn't ask. It was like I'm gonna come to your house and sit with you. Cool. Right. And that in and of itself was something that I needed, and I was grateful for, because you didn't have to even do that. And I feel like some people get caught up in, well, you didn't call me and say you need it. I'm not gonna do that. Like, I'm not going to do that. I'm just going to process what I'm processing. And sometimes I feel like I'm being a Debbie Downer, because you might be having a good day and I'm just over here in my little moment or like, you know, time. And I don't want to make you feel like you got to take care of me. You know what I'm saying? Right. Or be in it with me. Because, you know, some of our friends get emotionally invested. So they'll be hurting like you hurting. And it's like, all right, no, I just want my little me time. If you happen to come around, I'll entertain you, but at the same time, I'm just going to chill. That's my mood for the day. And I get like that. You know, like Mother's Day, it would have been the same. But I was like, no, I had no excuse. I'm like, all right, I'm going, I guess. But like, you know, sometimes people get frustrated with you because you don't tell them, hey, I'm going through this.
Right.
I'm like, no, because that's not, that may not be you. And if you know somebody, you know that sometimes, like, you know how many people I know that lost loved ones, family members, mom, dad, or whomever, and I just came and sat with them. They ain't have to call me and say nothing. I knew what was going on. And if I could be there, I could be there. And if I couldn't, I just reach out and send a nice little message. And then I'll wait a couple of days and check back in on you. Like, it don't have to be that day. Like, I'll check in on you that day. If you don't respond, I'm not even going to get upset. People get upset by that. You didn't respond to me. No. I'll wait a couple of days and check back in, because I gave a fuck. It's not that you're not obligated to text me back. You're in a place of grief and the different emotions. So you're not obligated to, let me text him back before she get mad. People are weird like that. And it's crazy to me that people are like that. And so, like, for me, I'm the type of person where I'll just kind of like, I know my friends are going to call me. Like, my friends call me like, hey, how you doing today? Just checking on you. I said, I'm good, whatever. But I know they would have understood if I didn't text back. And I probably would have texted them the next day and be like, hey, you know, I was in my little feelings. I know you reached out to me, but I wanted to let you know I did say, and I appreciate that. But I did have people reach out to me because they knew what day it was. Some people, I didn't even say anything until I made a post. And I'm like, nah, it's good. Like, I'm not expecting you to call me. Like, that's not, because people got lives. You know, people get caught up in that. People not on social media every day. That's not a date that they will remember unless that was somebody related to them or somebody of importance to them. That's not somebody you met day in your life. So I'm not expecting for Willie to call me and say, hey, Sonny, how you doing? No. And do I be mad at him for? No, I would never be mad at nobody for that. Like, it's not. Right. their place the same way. I wouldn't want you to be mad if you did reach out and I didn't respond. You one or two things happened. I'm in my feelings and I just didn't look at my phone. So
feel you there.
Yeah. People get weird in the sense of entitlement over your feelings and how you're supposed to react.
Yeah, it's a lot of entitlement floating around these days, and that's one of them for sure.
Yeah, like what I'm like my cousin, when I reached out to her, I wait a little bit. Like I know that day she's not trying to talk to nobody, so I'll just randomly be like, hey, like check on another day, or just want to check in on blah blah. I'm here if you want to talk. You don't have to.
Right.
Talk to me. And I'll take it a step further. I'm here if you want to talk, if you want to come be in my house. Me and like y'all said, me and Zay be going at it on a daily basis. You be in here sad 1 minute and cracking up the next minute because they out here wilding and me and him beefing. Or me and my goddamn baby. We arguing. So at any time, feel free to come to my house and get a laugh. You're going to get one. And it's not going to be in like I'm trying to make you laugh. It's just going to happen because the shit be happening in my house and I be looking at myself like, what the? If this boy had clothes on at the time, I would have cameras in his house. And I'm telling you right now, my YouTube would be popping. Because we be in here having moments, not just be like, hey, yo, what's wrong with you? Like you be like you having a moment, and that'll make somebody laugh if you're in a bad mood. Or I'll do what I normally do. Here's an edible. Have fun.
Indeed. All right. Any other points before we move on to the next topic?
No.
Just be careful when you compromise. I remember the last time I compromised because I was in an uncompromising state. Because every year at around my father's time, I get real quiet, not sad. Just I don't know what it was. I think I was just going through like just in my emotions, melancholy. And I don't know if I'll be married to Jasmine if I didn't come out of it. Because around the time I told her I just need some space for a moment. It was like around May. I didn't talk to her for at least a good 2 weeks before we got married. Like years before we got married, we were still dating. And I came over her house one day, just unexpectedly. I think I just snapped out of it. Came over her house one day and she was like, nope. She stopped me at the door. Like, what's going on? I got you food. What's going on? Like I haven't talked to you in a while, whatever, blah, blah, blah. I'm about to head out. Oh, my bad. We talked about it. We communicated about that. And I think that was the last time I was in that funky mood of just not communicating that to people at all.
Well, one thing I want to
words to express how you feel.
Yeah,
you be all over the place. That's the crazy part. Like you could be all like. Do you understand that some days I literally some days I just be in an emotional state. Couldn't tell you why I'm emotional. Other than that, I suffer from depression and PTSD and anxiety. But like I could legit like be sitting around one day thinking something about my mom and then just be sad the entire day. It's nothing, and it's not even like I can say like this one thing triggered me. It could be a multitude of things that happen in the course of the day. It could be I had like a bad morning, then I thought about my mom, and then this happened at work, and then I got home some bullshit. Like it could be a plethora of things, but now I'm just hyper focused on one thing, and I'm just sad. So my feelings is all over the place, and I don't have to worry how I feel. I just not in a good space.
And growing up in the house I grew up in, my mother's always said, don't show your emotions. Don't tell people what's going on in your life outside house. Don't let people know X, Y, Z, blah, blah, blah. So most of the day I'm up here, internally just mute.
Yeah. Internal
agony.
That's why
internal agony. But y'all know me on the outside. I'm like, let's do this. Yeah, let's do this. So as soon as I get it by myself,
it's called functional depression. You could be functioning, going to work every day, smiling, kikiing, and you don't even understand. That's what people be like. When people think about depression, you think somebody supposed to be sad and then wallowing in it. No, functional depression looks like I'm going to work every day. I'm kikiing with my friends. You might even see me out having a good old time, but in this side, I'm going through it.
Dying. You're dying on the inside. You be like,
because I'm outwardly like. And this is why I say like when I say I can't afford to be in a space of depression for days at a time because I got a kid. They don't care. I could be in here crying. They gonna come in here argue with me, asking do I want to fight. Gang banging about shit. Like he's not there.
Right.
He's not
He
Right.
gives no
there.
F.
He doesn't care. And it's like
He
it's that selfishness and innocence of kids that doesn't understand that you're going through it. And you could have had the roughest day of roughest days. These kids don't care. They're not thinking about that.
the
Right.
F's he gives.
And it's like they be having their own emotions, their own lives, and it's rightfully so, right? So I can't be sad and depressed for 6 days. That man wants some food, and we gonna argue about it if he ain't getting it. I just sitting there arguing with him about food. He put in the microwave that he had been done, and he could have got it. He hit upstairs about 7 times, screaming and hollering. I had to keep muting myself and cut myself off because he was going off. What if I was in a bad space? He don't care.
Right. Right.
He hasn't cared. So like that's why you get people that are functioning because your job don't care what you got going on. You could go out on leave, but like realistically speaking, we ain't about to do that. So you could go to work every day, show up and be your best self, and at work in the bathroom crying and on lunch break, and then wiping them tears, wetting your face, and going back out and doing a goddamn job because that's what we're programmed to do. Because at the end of the day, depression don't pay the bills.
Mm-hmm.
Facts.
So like you gotta be able to function at life, and it's a sad state to be in. It's a sad state to explain, and that you'll be all right is a trigger.
Yeah, that is definitely a trigger right there. Yeah.
Don't tell me like because like if you don't understand what depression is, don't tell me I'll be okay.
Right.
And you know what? Somebody.
And that's the thing with the compromise. It's not just about compromise and just do whatever everybody says. That's not what the compromise means. So don't feel like a compromise means that you just have to give in. That's not what compromise means. Yeah. Compromise means that sometimes you have to say, you know what, I'm gonna not totally not do anything. I'm gonna do the things that are right for me. I'm gonna do the things that work for me, or I'm going to not do these things that don't work for me, or not do these things that will trigger me or that will make me feel less happy, in the end. So, don't feel like, you have to give in to all the things or that you have to do what the other people are saying. But, definitely do what's right for you. Definitely do what's right for you.
Exactly.
Sorry.
Oh no worries. Let's get into the next topic so we can knock that out and get up out of here. So we get back to real life. All right, so we got an after show topic tonight, brought to you by Dame over there, and so
just full of ideas.
Right. So Dame's still on a roll. He's still coming up with the ideas. So make sure you guys hit us up in our chat or hit us up in our join the conversation group if you have any ideas for topics that we should discuss here on the show. We definitely love to take your ideas and chop them up and give our perspective on them. But Dame mentioned something in our group chat about home mortgage fraud on the rise. Dame, you want to tell us about this, what you saw out there? And then I did a little research as well, so I got some points.
I'm listening to the radio this morning, as I usually do, my commute to work. God, I hate that place. So I'm listening to the radio, and I'm listening to what's that? The Breakfast Club, and they're actually talking about what's on the rise is people are forging documents to get homes, to get somewhere to live, because the pricing for homes have just been out of reach for a lot of people. A lot of people need a place to stay. They don't know that if you can't pay for it, though, when I guess there's like that, when I get it, we come to that problem. We get to it when I can't. Yeah, we come to that problem. We get to it. Yeah, we cross that bridge. We get to it. But right now we got to get somewhere to stay. People are forging IDs. AI is getting involved as usual. And people are getting paychecks and pay stubs doctored, like saying they make this much, getting this false information all the way around. And people are getting caught up in this fraud, which is crazy to me. It's like I never would have thought of trying to do that, because especially a mortgage for a home. That's
you'd be surprised.
I mean, the worst I ever heard of growing up was squatters.
Oh, no.
You know what I'm saying?
Even that's a problem. Even that's a major
Yeah,
problem.
but
Like,
yeah,
you know, I just watched
no,
a documentary about people, this guy that was squatting all over the place, and he knew the law was better than anyone, and they couldn't get him out. It took years for them to get him out. One lady moved him in as her boyfriend. They broke up. They lived in separate rooms, and she still couldn't get him out. Like, she ended up having to leave.
He becomes a tenant at that point.
Yeah, because she had to leave to get away from him. But this mortgage fraud is not necessarily news. I guess being on the rise is probably the only news. Being the field's not working, specifically, we do verifications, and you'd be surprised. People do a lot, and it's just and to the same time, I feel like I get it. It's sad because the cost of living is high as fuck. Everything costs $1 million. Like I said, this on numerous shows, right? In this economy right now, you could have a two income household, and you still could be stretched thin. With even if you know you make a good amount, it's still a bit of a struggle because everything else is high, right? What we noticed, what my sister actually pulled my coattail to where we're from, they're selling water, like you pay for the water. They're selling the water, whatever it is, the whatever, so people can essentially own the. I guess if I was understanding correctly, if you have not paid your water bill, another company can claim that because it goes up for sale or whatever, right? And they can buy it, and that's essentially they're essentially owning
because it's a lien. It's a lien on your property.
Yeah.
So they're buying the debt of the past due water bill. That's a common thing as well. That's been done for decades.
You have to verify that you're the owner. Verify that you paid your water bill and stuff like that. And even with that, you got people that my sister said it was people that have kept their water bills and still had it happen. Mm-hmm. And the papers are a thing of a past. They have to post it in the paper. Nobody gets a paper anymore. Mm-hmm. So like my sister was telling us to go to the website, which I am because I work in HR, specifically in payroll right now. It's so much fraud going on that I'm leery to even do that. Like, because the website, you have to go and verify this your property. I don't like any of that. I have my deed. I have my mortgage payments and stuff like that. But like that, even that makes me leery to register my name and say this is my property, because that could be whole nother fraud. Mm-hmm. So like,
that happened in, I think it was Georgia, where this woman was going around figuring out different people's properties and quit claim deeding them out of their name into her company name, and then selling the property after so many years. And there was hardly anything they could do in Georgia because they didn't have a law against it, so they had to create a new law in order to combat that type of fraud, where they have to now verify ownership before they register a quit claim deed on property transfers. So there's a lot of different ways.
It's a lot of stuff. That's why I tell people you got to be like, I don't answer phone call numbers I don't know. I get numerous of texts and emails about buying my property. I'm not responding with none of my information because if you look me up, you can see that I own this property. My name is all up and through it. Like, no matter how much you look my address up, you're gonna see my name on the paperwork. So for everything. So it's just like you have to be mindful, and as much as you want to, like, and I don't want to say, like, I don't like to get caught up in the mass hysteria of things, but like that was a thing. And it's like, I can't go jump the gun and go register my name, information, and my property, all my stuff, because that could be a scam.
Right.
So I'm super overly cautious.
And this is the thing, is that there's so many types of property fraud out there. I put in the banner that that the mortgage fraud is on the rise, but it's also investment properties that are also, there's a lot of fraud going on there, where there's investors that are overstating income, overstating or understating their property and mortgage holdings, because they may try to go and get another mortgage and then don't mention that they just signed up for a different mortgage on a different property, and now they have all these different mortgages that they're juggling. But like you said, Dame, a lot of times they're crossing that bridge when they come to it, when it comes to how they're going to pay for that, either being it flipping properties or taking that new mortgage and investing it somewhere else, that kind of thing. So there's a lot of that going on as well. One thing I did find in my limited research was that a lot of the risk is coming from or a lot of the fraud is coming from the risk of prices going down, surprisingly.
Yeah.
So with property prices coming down, there's a lot more people trying to buy properties. But
yeah,
like
that's
Sonny
right.
was
Now it's a
saying,
good buying market. It's not really a good selling market, but it's definitely a good buying market.
Exactly. And like Sonny was saying earlier, is that there's so many people that they may have just enough money to pay these bills, but from a mortgage standpoint or even a renting standpoint, they may not meet income criteria. So then they're starting to, do nefarious things like bringing up fraudulent pay stubs, fraudulent W-2s.
Make three times the rent.
Yeah, and
make that.
Yeah, no, yeah, exactly. And then there's the problem of who's really buying the home. You have people using family members' information, like you said, Dame. They're using fraudulent IDs, sometimes even identity theft in order to purchase a property to live in. So there's a lot of different ways people are committing fraud out there. Again, like Sonny said, it's nothing new. But it's definitely an ongoing problem, and they may be seeing that. Actually, what I was reading is that there's a year-over-year increase in the likelihood of real estate fraud, 9.1% year-over-year increase. So you just take that and tie that with these lowering home prices, and you have a lot of investors and a lot of people who are just trying to get a home of their own that are doing things that may not be legal or in their best interest sometimes.
Yeah, it's just a scary thing. You got to protect your information. That's one thing. Protect your information from people that will do those types of things. Make sure you have your documents in order, and all those things. Because it's scary out here. Like I would hate this, and for me, even this situation, I would hate for me not to have done something and something happens. But like,
And one thing to remember is that mortgage fraud is a crime. You will go to jail. I know people who have gone to jail. So you definitely want to avoid, presenting fraudulent documentation, especially for a government loan. Because if you acquire a government loan fraudulently, they can come back, they can foreclose, they can push for you to pay civil fines. They can even request jail time. So you got to be careful out there and not falling into the trap of thinking that, you're going to just get away with it because nobody's checking. Like Sonny said, they're checking and they're validating. And if you get caught up, there's nothing anybody can do for you, and you'll land in jail.
Yeah.
Identity theft is a crime too. So definitely don't get involved in that.
Oh, yep. Because I'm the king of Zamunda.
You never know what people are out here doing. You never know what they're out here doing.
Yeah, stop believing in the African prince. That's going to give you millions of dollars.
That's my favorite. But somebody keeps calling me and texting my phone. I had this number for the last 9 years. About asking about my property on Tyrone Street or whatever. I'm like, dude, who is this? I keep blocking the number, and the same question keeps popping up. And like a couple of years ago, I answered one of the calls. Hey, can I speak to about their property? Like, no, wrong number. And like, well, what do you have any property? Like, yes, your mama's. So,
hey yo,
no, what?
Hey yo,
Sonny, they pissed me off. Like,
no, I'm gonna start answering that.
That's the crazy part. They'll fake
I'm gonna start answering that phone. How that dude did when he said he was discovering that car. The guy. Yes. I'm discovering this car. I discovered it. Like I saw him he did one with a bill collector, and he was basically asking them. He said what's your matter? And they was telling him like he owed a bill. He said, you gave me free money, I spent it.
Oh Lord.
He was like, "Why you calling me at home?" He said, "Give me a number so I can call you at home." Like he was going, I'm gonna send it to y'all, but he was like, "Give me a number so I can call you at home." And the guy was like, "No," and he was like, "He said you calling me at home when I can't call you? You gave me free money. You the one gave me the money." He said, "And I spent it. So I'm not." He said, "I'm not paying it back. I haven't paid any of the bills. You gave me free money. I spent it. We're done." That's how I'm gonna talk to you.
Yeah.
You gave me free money. I don't know why you even.
I'm disrespectful with mine. He's just I can't even say it on airwaves. Might get a
answer bill collectors when COVID happened.
Mm-hmm.
And bill collectors used to call me. I used to just be on the phone screaming at them, just talking. What? They would get so mad. I'm like, I can't hear you. And they hang up.
No, I'll tell them I can't talk. I'm on the phone. I'm like, I can't talk to you. I got COVID. Do you got your shot?
I was straight screaming at these people like I couldn't hear them. Like I was tone deaf, and my cousin come downstairs like, "What the hell are you doing?" I'm like, "I'm talking to bill collectors."
I just saw this one woman switch up her voice, and I saw this woman switch up her voice on a camera, like in 3, 2, 1. Hi, I'm live here. Talk about the phone scammer. What's your name again?
Yeah. Oh yeah, the newscaster lady. They've called me, and I talked about butt plugs. I was like, "Can you get the butt plug on my butt?"
Are you serious?
I answered the phone like I was already in the middle of conversation. So I just was talking. They was listening for a good minute, and they finally hung up. I'm like, because it hurt, and I really want to end it, and blah blah. And I don't really like when you do that, and blah 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 blah. Like 10 minutes in, they finally hung up. But I was having a full-on conversation about. I was talking to my cousin, but like it caught her off guard because she wasn't expecting the conversation. And all of a sudden, she started talking, and she's like, "What?" And you could hear her like visibly confused, and the person was like, "Hello." And I was just like, "Yeah, I didn't like the way you asked me to do that last night. It really hurt me." And I didn't sit down right after that. It just felt odd. And they was like, click. And I was like, oh no. She was like, what happened? I'm like, I just was talking.
They didn't want to hear about it.
Yeah, I'm like the wrong person to be. I will say some outrageous shit and be on that phone having a full-on conversation with you. Call me if you want to. I'm gonna talk to you.
Indeed. All right, well, that's the show.
Sunny Wild.
Appreciate y'all for joining. Appreciate y'all for watching. Make sure you check us out. Free on demand on any of your favorite audio podcast platforms or your favorite video platform. Make sure you check out our website, gftradioshow.com, for all of our links to our socials, as well as to our join the conversation group over at facebook.com/groups/GFT join the conversation. Make sure you get over to our merchandise shop over at gftradio.creator-spring.com, where we have apparel, we have accessories, everything you ever need with GFT Radio Show logos and sayings. Make sure you check out our shows. We got plenty of content for you guys every Monday, 10 p.m. here at the GFT Radio Show. Make sure you check out the How to Hustle podcast with Hype, as well as make sure you check us out on the BS3 Live, BS3TVLive.com for the Podcast Link Live TV show, as well as
our first shows on there. Yes.
Yeah, make sure you check out the replay of that. And, make sure you hit that notification bell so you can be alerted when we have our shows and when we have our topics up online. Make sure you check out or make sure you follow the join the conversation group. In the meantime, Sunny, tell the folks where they can find you.
Well, you should have found me November 29th at the Podcast Link 4th show. It was lit. If you follow my Instagram, I am Sunny_D, Instagram, Snapchat, TikTok, Threads. I posted a little clips from the show. Follow Podcast Link Philly for any upcoming and like a couple of more snippets of that show. The show will be going live on YouTube at some point, and you will be notified that way. And you can go to Podcast Link Philly on Instagram and follow the YouTube page. The link is in the bio. Go visit me at unreservedlyme.com. I got some new content coming. I'm excited. I'm super excited.
All right. We'll do that. Dane?
You know what I miss? I miss Sonny's videos. Those TikToks he used to make, those duos. It was great. Anyway, you can find me up. You can find me up at Another Level Up on Instagram and Shiloh21 on the Xbox and Twitch network. Holla.
All right. And it's your boy Willie Styles in the building. Get at me everywhere at Willie Styles on IG, Threads, and Twitter. I'm Willie.Styles on Snapchat and TikTok. Visit me over at stylesradio.com for all the hot tracks that I'm listening to. WillieStyles.info for all my links. Holla at me. All right. Make sure you guys check us out on the replay. Make sure you like, share, follow, subscribe, all the things. Hit that notification bell so you can be alerted. And until next time, we are.
Yo, it's your boy Dame here.
Hey guys, it's your girl Sunny D.
Yo, it's your boy Smooth from the GFT Radio Network.
What up, though? It's your boy Willie Styles in the building.
Join us Mondays at 10 p.m. live on Twitch, YouTube, and our Facebook. And if you miss us, don't worry. You can catch it on our website, gftradioshow.com. And if you feel like talking to us every day, join our Facebook group.
At Join the Conversation, the group where you can discuss all kinds of topics.
Catch me also, Fans Perspective, Dope Sports Show. Holla at your boy.
You can cop some merchandise over at our store, teespring.com/stores/GFT Radio. You can get t-shirts, sweatshirts, masks, and even more.
Next time on GFT Radio, what are we talking about? Join the conversation to find out.
Make sure you get at us on GFTradioshow.com for all of our audio and video playbacks, as well as links to all of our social media sites.